Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching We're with Sim again. Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we're going to be going over an active snowstorm that has already started to impact places like the Plains, Midwest, and even New England. All those areas have gotten impacted by the storm, and as of right now, the snowstorm is actually in Illinois right now, heading as far down south as Harrisburg, Illinois. So if you guys are seeing snowfall outside, make sure to be on high alert for that. But we're going to go ahead and start talking about the climate prediction center outlooks. And I don't think I showed you guys this outlook yet, but if we start off with the 6 to 10 day outlook, we are starting to see some pretty well above average temperatures for a pretty good portion of the eastern United States getting into the plains. But if we look over here out west around Utah, we're seeing below average temperatures, especially around Nevada, getting into southern California and even western Arizona. But if we look at the precipitation outlook, we are seeing pretty well above average precipitation go as far north as Indiana. But if we look, we even have a few more other areas that could see above, and that does include the Northwest, and then it even includes southern Arizona. So if you guys do live in those areas, be on high alert, and then areas around those green that are in those lighter dark colors, those will also give you a pretty good chance of seeing above average precipitation too as well. But if we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, we will start off with temperatures again, where we do have a pretty good portion of the United States in above, not well above, but above for a pretty good portion of the United States, while we're seeing near normal in between Arizona and New Mexico, and then we're also seeing near normal in very northern New England. So make sure to be aware of some above average temperatures, especially if you live in this darker red color right here that does extend all the way into the Ohio Valley. So make sure to be on high alert for some above average temperatures, and it won't be super hot. It will only get into the 50s, maybe even 60s, but other than that, not really gonna be quite hot. It's just gonna be feeling good outside and more pleasant. But if we look at the precipitation outlook, we will see some above average precipitation down here for Florida and even the Northwest, so make sure to be aware of that if you live in those areas. But we're also seeing a chance for slightly below average precipitation across California, getting into Arizona, and then even portions of New Mexico and then even Utah. So make sure to be aware of that if you live in this area. And it is usually dry around this area. They don't usually see a whole lot of precipitation throughout the year, so I'm not really concerned about that, but still make sure to be aware of that. But if we start looking at the hazards, there's no temperature outlook, but with the precipitation outlook, this heads as far north as southern Kentucky, and then this goes all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico states, and then we got another chance for some precipitation and heavy rain across the Northwest. So I mean, there's definitely a chance we could see some heavy rain across both areas, and that's exactly what this outlook is for heavy rain. So if you live in one of these outlooks, make sure to be aware of it. We're going to go ahead and look at the snowfall outlook, where we do see a risk for heavy snowfall across Utah getting into Montana, and then we also got this one that heads from Washington getting into California. This little area down here in southern Colorado is also looking like we could see some heavy snowfall too as well. This one right here could probably most likely includes the Salt Lake City area, but even if it doesn't, that's okay. There will still be a risk for some snowfall there, at least for moderate to light. So make sure to be aware of that. But with the wind threat, pretty widespread wind threat across the Northwest getting into Utah, so we will have to watch out for some high wind warnings and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and start looking at the radar, so we're going to go ahead and take it back today, where we will see that snowfall going across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes region and out into New England. And then as that finally heads out, we will start to see a real little round of showers and maybe even a brief thunderstorm on December 4th. And as we continue to take this forward, we don't really see anything active till we get to December 8th. And then as that finally heads out, we won't really see anything too active. Besides, we will keep seeing more rounds of snow and even storms across the Great Lakes region, and we're even seeing some as we get to the end of the radar. So make sure to be aware of that. But if we look at this one, I wanted to show you guys exactly how this one's looking. So we're going to go ahead and take this forward, and if you look down here towards the southern part of this big thing, or more like southern Illinois, we are seeing that mixed precipitation area, and this is on Interstate 64 right now. As we continue to take this forward, this will head into just a little bit of Indiana, but this will continue to die down, so it won't be a concern for Indiana anymore. And then as that finally heads out, we will start to see a little bit more rain, but other than that, it's not looking too bad. And then up here to the north, it is looking like we could see some snow impacts, because as you see in Chicago, we just continue to see snow almost all day long. And as you see, as we get into the afternoon around 12 p.m., that is still continuing, so we will be seeing quite a bit of snow in that area. So make sure to be aware if you live like in northern Indiana, getting into Michigan, and then even getting into Illinois especially, so make sure to be aware of that. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the total snowfall, where we will see some pretty good amounts across the Rocky Mountains, seeing a couple of areas getting over a foot possibly. But if you look at Maine is seeing over 30 inches of snowfall in some areas. Looks like Nova Scotia seeing over 60 inches of snowfall. Dang, that's a ton of snowfall. But this is heading all the way out to December 12th, which is more than a week from now, so we're not really sure if that's exactly how it will play out, but since it's showing really high amounts, we'll definitely be seeing snowfall across Nova Scotia, getting into New England, and then through the Great Lakes region and up into the upper plains, and then across a lot of the Rockies. So make sure to be aware of that as we get into December 12th. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the precipitation outlook, where we actually do see a really big amount across this area. And if we see when this starts to ramp up, around December, let's say December 2 or 3rd is when this rain really starts ramping up. And I did have a little bit of this area in the flash flood area for my December forecast. I should probably extend that a little bit more north into Washington, but it will still be mixed with the drier than normal conditions, because I do think later on in December there could be a possibility of that. But if we go way farther east on the East Coast, we are seeing some pretty good amounts across New England, getting into the Panhandle of Florida, and then even across the Gulf of Mexico states. So make sure to be on high alert for some flash flooding possibility, especially in this area back here. And we are even seeing some pretty good amounts across Idaho. But if we go over here into the Ohio Valley, we're seeing up to 3 inches possibility across western Kentucky, getting into Evansville and southern Indiana. So that's definitely where we will have to watch for some pretty active weather as we get into December 12th. So I think I pulled up another radar, but that's actually okay. This is the HRR model, and this is more of the smaller radar, and this heads all the way out to 4 p.m. So if we look at that, as you see, these storms will start to head into Indiana and then going back out into Ohio and die down, but snow does seem to stay more up north, because that's for sure. But if we look at our temperature anomalies, we're going to go ahead and take this forward, where we, as of right now, we are, let's see, we're going to go to 6 a.m., where we do see our temperatures pretty much well below freezing across much of the western United States. It's just California getting into Arizona and then back through Texas and southern New Mexico where we're not seeing freezing temperatures. But other than that, much of the western United States is seeing freezing. And then as we continue to take this forward, we'll see another round of freezing, especially across the Ohio Valley. And then as we continue to take this forward, we'll see even another round of freezing temperatures as we get into Tuesday. And as you see, those temperatures do seem to dip really far down. And as we continue to take this forward, we will see a small warm front come through, bringing some pretty warm temperatures up to into the 50s and 60s, which is more pleasant but not really usual for this time of year. But if we continue to take this forward, we will continue to see some pretty warm temperatures continue, and as you see, we start to see 60s across Indiana as we get into December 8th. But if we continue to take this forward again, we may start to see freezing again as we get into December 12th. So we will definitely have to keep our eye on that. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did have a great day. I will definitely be doing a video tomorrow, but I do want to let you guys know that I do want to get up to 100 subscribers before Christmas or more if I can. But if you guys will please subscribe to my channel, that would be great. And I hope you guys do have a great weekend, and I will do one tomorrow.